Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.
Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your couch writer, Raven Jermaine Lockett, saying, what's up? What's happening? Yes, I know it's a little bit early, but you know what? I got a good excuse. I made promotion rank today, and I just feel like chilling, but I also have a lot of homework to do in order to make sure I take care of the schooling before I can get up out of here and be with my family. So sorry I had to go a little bit early, but we getting into Ravens versus Seahawks. Look, for your motivational quotes, or motivational moments, should I say. If you plan to grow, you got to go where you don't know. I want you to think about your life and see how you can make yourself a little bit uncomfortable for your own personal growth. In order to grow, you need to go where you don't know. That is your quick motivational moment. Let's get into it. Let's get it. Let's go. Who's in the room? I already know with my 3 favorite people in the world. Wilbert. He's here, y'all. Wilbert is here. He said, "Pro shade to the Browns. This is a Browns channel. This is not a Browns channel. I am very supportive of James Prochet and I'm very glad for him to make a team, to get a job. It's just fantastic. I'm proud of him. I'm hoping he does well, except for week 10 when we beat the Browns to death. So I'm hoping he does well this week. It's just next week, we got to go and give it to him. We got to give him the business. It is what it is, Wilbert." All right, Brooke was good. She says, "Congratulations. I appreciate you. Yeah, making rank. I didn't see it coming. I was going to go get a job. At least I was job hunting when I got back from deployment. And I was like, you know what? The Air Force, they have spoken and I'm not going to make rank. And then all of a sudden I make rank. I'm like, what? Well, I was going to go shop for a job and I was going to retire. And my wife and the Air Force are like, absolutely not. No, get back to work. And I was like, okay, fine. It is what it is. So appreciate you, Brooke. And if you're wondering, I've just made the rank of Senior Master Sergeant. So I'm kind of pumped up a little bit about it because it's just top 2% of the Air Force make it to that next rank. And here we are. And I'm forever grateful for those of you who have stood around me, have been there and supported me through every part of my career. Friends, family, leadership, mentors. You all were a part of it, whether you were negative or positive. You were a piece of that journey, that path that led me to where I am right now. So thank you. Next is Lisa. It says, "Hey, Jermaine, we can't give Geno Smith all day to throw. That is a bona fide fact. And I think we'll be just fine because why? Because we lead the league in sacks. Oh, yeah, let's get it." Delicious is here. He says, "What's up, Couch Rider and Cam and crew? Early is better." So the reason I'm going early is because my co-host said he had an audition tonight and he can't rock with your boy. So I was like, all right, cool. So a lot of congratulations. Thanks a lot. Let's see here. Nana said, "What's up, Nana? How you doing?" And I said, "Don't get me started, Wilbert. No mood to hear. She's not in the mood." Wilbert says, "Top 2%. Now you're in the class of Baker Mayfield, top 2% of quarterbacks in the NFL." I don't even know if I had energy for this today. Yeah, so yeah, Cam is big time now. Like I said, he's doing his thing. So not mad at him. Like I said, this guy he don't have those little things like kids and a wife running around. So he can do a couple of these things, have a little bit of that freedom. Proud of him making those strides in his life. So that's awesome. All right, so let's get into it. This team, the Seattle Seahawks, I feel like are a carbon copy of the Baltimore Ravens. And y'all probably like, what? We don't have a DK Metcalf. Okay, it doesn't matter. When you go look at the offense, you go look at the quarterbacks. When you look at the matchup between those two quarterbacks, we have the same amount of touchdowns. He just has more interceptions than Lamar does. So, and then you look at the passing yards. I mean, it's similar. So let's see. I mean, you're looking at the tail of the tape right now. We're looking at a guy who's throwing 1645 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Lamar Jackson, 1767 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Then you look at the defenses. They're very much similar as far as points allowed per game. The only difference is time of possession. Geno is going to throw it right or wrong and get his pick and get off the field, or get his touchdown, get off the field. Lamar and the Ravens, they are going to take their time working their way down the field. If y'all remember, that was the old Giro way. They worked their way down the field and they tire down defenses until they finally just go into submission. We're okay with that here. That's kind of what Baltimore Ravens have always stapled themselves upon. And that's okay. So when it comes to the third down efficiency, Baltimore's got them as well. Baltimore has them beat significantly in third down efficiency. We just know how to move the chains. And then, like I said, they get off the field one way or another. Interception, touchdown, something along those lines. That's how they do it. They have great ground game, because I'm telling you, they have number 9 over there, and he is absolutely balling. And it's just, Ken Walker the third, and then of course Charbonnet. I think it's Charbonnet. Yeah, he came from, I want to say, UCLA, and I mean, he was tearing it up down there. When I saw him destroy LSU before he got drafted, it was just, it was a thing of beauty. But at the same time, on the other side, and I am just like, I'm hurting. I'm like, who is this kid, and how is he running all over us? So that's the backup. So, but Walker is the starter, and Walker is that dude. You cannot let him get loose. We cannot let these guys run over us like the Cardinals were able to run. They were able to establish some type of ground game. We can't have that happen this time, because they will make us pay. Both of those backs are hungry and chomping at the bit to make things happen. And if they get that play action going, and you got Smith and Jigba, another guy that we thought was phenomenal and we thought we were going to draft. If you let him get loose, there are things that are going to happen. Tyler Lockett, my cousin, he still has that ability to get loose and do his thing. DK's only got 2 touchdowns on the season, but he's got just as many receiving yards, or he's like 50 less, as Zay. So I let you know, I'm proud of our defense. I'm proud of what they're capable of doing as far as shutting out top tier wide receivers. But DK, one of them guys who will bully you if he gets the wrong guy on him. So we please don't put Arthur Marlette. I like him. He's a great sack artist, and he's good in the slot. But I don't want him to see any time against DK Metcalf. So let's not let that happen at all. Let's pay some bills here. Brooks says, tell Cam he's being replaced. Well, if you hop on the show, you'll be able to replace him. Anyway, Lisa says, I've waited 8 weeks for Pancake Pat to get a touchdown. I hope he gets one on Sunday. I think it's more important that we get Odell his touchdown. The reason I say that, y'all saw him spiking the helmet. Y'all saw the frustration. Yes, we're winning, but at the same time, this guy needs his touchdown. It'll get that monkey off his back. It'll let him know that he is back, that he still is a phenomenal player. Him getting those pass interference penalties, he's drawing those, and that means he is getting loose. He is getting beyond defenders, and they don't want to be embarrassed, and so they have a foul to give, and so they will snatch and grab at him. But of course, if he's not getting the play because of that, that's causing that certain amount of frustration. And the last thing we need is a frustrated psycho Odell Beckham Jr. We need sane, having fun Odell Beckham Jr., because that's when he makes the best plays. If he's pissed off, we're going to see a whole different side, and it's not going to be productive, and it's going to destroy the locker room. So we need him to get his touchdown. We also need Bate to get his. We need them both in the end zone, hopefully this weekend. Of course, give Andrew his, because he's in my fantasy, but this ain't about his fantasy. This ain't about the fantasy. I'm just talking about getting guys on the board to feed this ball and spread it around to keep players happy and productive. All right, let's keep paying some bills here. All right, Brooks says, this is the week for Odell. Yes, it needs to be the week for Odell. 0 touchdowns is something he's like, I am trying to convince the Ravens to sign me back to a long-term deal, but he can't do that if he's not getting pay dirt. So that's another piece of it. Delicious says, I think Brandon Stevens will be on DK. I think a lot. I said a lot. I think Stevens plays really good against big wide receivers. He's been good he's been really good. So the thing about Stevens, he's a big guy. And playing against bigger guys who don't have those hip flexors that just twist and juke all over the place and is able to do those juke routes, he's able to play phenomenal. It's just a big time talent for big players to match up against other big guys that don't do all that juking. If it's just simply jump ball and straight line running or whatever, Stevens is going to be that guy. When it comes to everything else, that's what you got Marlowe for. And of course, Marlowe's legs look like they might be going in the direction of Peters, even though Peters got a pick six the other day. It's still, the legs is gone. Marlowe's legs is they still there somewhat. This defense still looks stout. It's just like I said, with McDonald, he is just able to disguise the defense in such a way that it really makes our corners look great. It's just, it is what it is. I think if there was any other scheme, then our corners would get embarrassed. He's pushing everything to the middle of the field. And those tight ends, as you saw McBride, he did his thing this past Sunday. Those tight ends are going to look great against the Ravens. But it's because they're pushing everything purposely towards the middle, because that's where your two best players on the field are. Or I say two of your best players, should I say. Because, I mean, Gino's sitting there in the middle waiting for those opportunities. And then you have Agent Zero, Roquan, right in the middle, waiting for those opportunities to come his way as well. So, and then Pat Queen playing lights out because he's sitting next to Roquan. So if you got three of those players on the field and you're trying to get everything to go towards the middle of the middle of the field with those three players, you're talking about some serious damage that's about to happen. So, and of course, like I said, he likes giving the ball away. So we need to go ahead and be a part of that giveaway like it's Black Friday or something. All right, Delicious says he agrees. Bruce says, don't talk about my husband like that. Who your husband? Cameroon? I don't know. Yeah. Delicious says, I agree, Brooke. Time to shut the haters up. Oh, she's talking about Odell. Wait, you was with Marlo, and then you with Odell. They got a term for that. Just saying. Lisa says, don't forget your clocks back before you go to sleep. Yes. Say, was it spring forward, fall backwards? So Saturday, I think it's 2 o'clock in the morning, set it back. Okay. Delicious says, OBJ is due for a big game. Yes, definitely needs it. Brick says, I'm tired of them complaining. Dr. Dre got me defending him weekly, and I don't even want him. No, sorry. Dre is not Dr. Dre. They got me defending him weekly and don't even want him. Okay, so I think it was with Odell Beckham, probably. Marlo, her ex. Yes. She said, I was not talking about Odell. Okay, cool. Okay, I was like, where is she going with this here? All right. So defensively, like I said, this week has been a whirlwind of talk about what we need for this team. And I'm not saying defensively, just in general, sorry. Talking about on Twitter, the dude who disrespected Eric DeCosta's wife and him, like that dude didn't have a lick of sense. And I think that is he is the voice, we'll say, of the idiot Ravens Nation. There's purple Ravens Nation that kind of defends the Ravens to the umpteenth power. And then there's Black Ravens Nation who just completely finds a way to tear down the organization to be negative for no reason. And yeah, you think he's on that side there. So, and then of course we got us who have a somewhat objective perspective when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens. We try to give it as real as we can, but also give, the facts. And then of course if they need that tongue lashing or something like that, then that's us as well. But what I'm saying is, like, the Ravens they're leading the league in sacks. So why do we need to go pick up a pass rusher? A lot of people were bugging about wanting to go pick up a pass rusher because they felt that was the key to victory or whatever for the Baltimore Ravens. But you have to recognize, if we're leading the league in sacks and we go pick up a top tier pass rusher, they're going to have to be unselfish. because that's how the Ravens play. They put together stunts. They put together other different things to give everybody an opportunity to get in on the sacks. I mean, look at our defensive line, 6.5 sacks on the defensive line for one of them. And then you got on the outside, like it's evenly dispersed across the league. It reminds me of the 2006 Baltimore Ravens when I think Suggs might have had 9 sacks, but we had other guys with 12 and 13 sacks. Like it was a balled out, balls to the wall, pressure type defense, but it was unselfish gameplay that allowed these guys to get in there. And that's what's happening right now. It's unselfish gameplay. If you go get a top tier pass rusher and put them in the mix of this, they're going to get reps. But personally, their numbers are going to go low. And they have to be willing to make that sacrifice for the Super Bowl. Most of these players aren't, and that is why they're not coming to Baltimore. That is why they are not coming to Baltimore. So Baltimore's going to be okay because, like I said, we got the pressure, unselfish, stunts, craziness going on, organized chaos, kind of like Rex Ryan's era, getting there, getting those sacks in. We don't need a top tier pass rusher. Next, rushing. Do we have the FedEx ground play of the week? I'm just saying. He had 3 touchdowns. Does he need 4 to prove to you all that we don't need a running back? Yeah, y'all wanted Henry. Like I thought I was peeking over the fence a little bit. Like, hey, is that Henry over there? What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, man? And then Gus was like, no, I got you, fam. Come back over here. And he was like, all right, not 1, not 2, not 3. I'm gonna get you 3 touchdowns. I'm gonna get you over 80 yards. The guy was balling. He was balling. He should have shut everybody up and closed the door on this Henry stuff. Yet they still kept talking, and yet Eric DeCosta was still fiddling around. It still happened. You can't tell me that it ain't frustrating as a running back to have so many things put in your path. You know, to have JK, to have Mark Ingram. All these guys are standing on top of your opportunity to be able to thrive. And now you get your chance and y'all talking about bringing in another back. That's got to be frustrating. It's about as frustrating as listening to him rap. It's terrible. He's terrible, but he's a good baller. Good baller. Anyway, go back up here. Brooke is talking trash. Jimmy tried to call me up. Oh. She said she's fine with no trade. This is good. Let's see. I said LJ is 252 yards away from 2,000 passing yards. Where he? Yeah, he is. He's getting there. He's getting there. And we're just hoping that, he can get there. Yeah, I'm not saying this week, but if he does, that'd be great. Let's see. Delicious says, LOL, EDC hate is crazy. I love Ozzy, but EDC has done more trades in a few years than Ozzy has ever done. I think the general management of Eric DeCosta has been exceptional. I think there's a lot of hate going on, but at the same time, look what this guy has picked up in the draft, what he's picked up in free agency, how he's filled some holes, how John Harbaugh is using everything that Eric DeCosta has laid before him and making things function properly. There's got to be props given. I know Harbaugh has not been the guy to get much accolades for everything that he has been doing with this team, but honestly, it's the team concept where together everyone achieves more, and he has got a good offensive coordinator. He's got a good defense coordinator. He's got good special teams that they could use a little work as far as getting more yards per carry, but give Harbaugh his props. It takes a real committed individual to lead millionaires and be successful at it. I mean, look at the Las Vegas Raiders right now. They have no patience. And after 1 year of dealing with McDaniels, they're not up for it. There's so many people that were left over thinking that the Las Vegas Raiders were going to be these balling out of control, crazy, like beastly, overpaid gods. And now they're without a GM and without a coach again. They have a new coach, but I don't know his name. But whatever, he'll be playing on Sunday, whatever. And they got a new quarterback because they bitched Jimmy Garoppolo. Surprise, no surprise there. That dude's trash. But yes, for John Harbaugh to take what he has and to do what he does and be 6-2. I mean, we probably should be 8-0, but we're 6-2. It is what it is. Got to get this guy some props. All right, let's see. Lisa says, I'm happy with who we have. I agree. I think I'm happy with that. When it comes to our secondary, like I said, we have the NFL interceptions leader. So you know, we got our own personal Gino versus Gino this Sunday. I'm hopefully Gino and Gino meet up a little bit as far as handing that ball off a little bit, get up some interceptions, maybe pick six, be wonderful. Hmm. Brooks says everybody loves EDC when he's fleecing teams, but as soon as he doesn't make a trade, he ain't poop. This is 100% fact. She is speaking gospel, y'all. Listen to Brooke right here. Whenever things are going good, and all of a sudden y'all see somebody, y'all could see, like I said, y'all can see the Vegas right now. Like if we don't sign McDaniels after he got basically fired, somebody is going to be on Twitter saying Baltimore's stupid because we didn't sign McDaniels and comparing it to the Patriots era and what he could do for Baltimore. Somebody's going to complain about it. The custodian for the New Orleans Saints just got completely fired or whatever because he was sleeping in a corner. All of a sudden, if we don't sign him, Baltimore's stupid. They should have signed this custodian because he could have mopped the floors, which could have got us to the W. No, y'all stupid. Let it go. Let it go. Let's see. For Team Gus and Team Justice, etc. I like the Team Gus. I'm excited about Justice. Still want to see more explosiveness plays in open space. They need to get this ball to this guy in open space. And I don't care if that's just like him running in a 5 and out of the backfield and then catching it in the flats and doing his thing. That'd be great. Screen passes, cool, whatever. Just get him involved. Now, when it comes to screen passes, I'm kind of tired of seeing it go to Zay. Stop with the screen passes to wide receivers. Let's just move this ball up and down the field, do slants, do something along those lines, but stop with the screen passes. It's not effective. We've seen it. Houston game, a couple other games. Let's knock it off. Go to something else. Nana says, delicious. I like EDC doing a pretty solid job. I don't give a hoot what nobody says or thinks. I think like when it comes to being a general manager, head coach, people have to have patience. Owners have to have patience. Come here. Owners, you need to have a little bit of patience. It gets a little frustrating when I see organizations look at a general manager and say, you have a year or 2 years to turn this thing around. When the person before them probably put them in cap hell, probably got them to where this organization is not where it needs to be with the positions. They probably spend a little too much in one position and not in others. They got boy deals to deal with, all these different things, and you're telling them that they got to go turn this thing into a winner. But the person that they have, when they probably got older players that are getting overpaid because they took void years or took all this front end money and they still in the contract, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess, and there's a lot of expectations when it comes to be a general manager. So to have one of the best in the league already with Eric DeCosta, who's a patient, responsible cap manager, I'm thankful. Okay. Lisa says, hey, Nana. Okay. Brooks says, Gino better not snatch no more Stevens balls. Or he said his own site. Yes, he was willing to hand him that fade because he snatched the interception out of Stevens. Basically, it was almost out of his hands. He just kind of stepped in front, took care of business. Stevens, if you don't step up and take care of business, it's gonna get snatched out of your hands. So jump on those opportunities and get your own. He got one last week, and Gino got one last week. Let's keep the party going. I like this competition. Yeah, y'all going after that many, going after interceptions like that. I'm all for it. Heat seeking. Felicia says, I'm a little disappointed about us not trading for a pass rusher, but to say EDC is a bad GM is crazy. Absolutely. Like, for people to constantly say this dude is bad, they don't see what we got right now. They don't see that Broderick Washington got signed, that Matabike is going to be next. They don't see Geno Stone is about to get a contract worthy of what he's doing. They don't see those second-year players that are going to stick around, or not second year. They're going to, you know what I mean? The players that are on the second contract, they're probably going to stick around, and EDC is probably going to get it for cheap. He's also going to let one significant player go to get the comp picks, and y'all going to be ticked off about it, but it's all about strategy because you can't pay everybody. And maybe that player might be Queen, but next thing you know, we got a third-round comp pick that we didn't expect, and we're going to turn that into a top-tier player. As long as it's not a second round pick. Our history of second round picks, they've been okay, not crazy. But it not too good. We had guys that are driving in apartment buildings, guys who beat girls in elevators, all this stuff. When it comes to our second round pick, I'm kidding. I like Ray Rice. He was good. All right. Now it says, Lisa, hey, lady. I was just saying hi to the whole team. How many times y'all going to say hi? Hi, everybody. Yes, I am definitely Team Gus. Want to see what he's going to do this weekend as well. Lisa's already putting out predictions. She's got 45-10, Ravens purple, LJ, 400 passing yards. I'm with it. You're extremely optimistic. I like it. Wilbert says, I need the Ravens to lose so the Browns can catch up. You owe us for stealing our team. Look who talking. How many Ravens you got on your team right now? How many Ravens? I'm just saying. Think about it. I know you recently signed 2. And then you gave away Donovan Peoples-Jones, which I thought was crazy. I thought he was a solid wide receiver. But you signed James. You signed James. I'm excited that you signed James. So go Browns this weekend. Make sure you throw the ball to James. I don't know who your quarterback is going to be because Deshaun got shoulder issues or whatever. So good luck. But as long as they throw the ball to James, I'm excited. He need to catch it. Delicious says, another thing EDC doesn't get enough credit for is how he's trying to make the wide receiver room something respectable. I mean, during the offseason, they were the talk of the town. 5 first-round wide receivers. That is exactly what was all over the headlines, was 5 first-round wide receivers. He did his part. Eric DeCosta signed top-tier talent to help take care of business. It's not his fault that Lamar has tunnel vision for just one of them and for the tight end. He's been spreading it lately, but for those first couple of weeks, we knew that Zay was getting 10 targets a game, and that was an issue. So now that they're spreading the ball, it's a little better. Lisa Quintillion. What's happening? She said, I love that score, Lisa. So Lisa and Lisa, what's good? Lisa, I don't remember if you have liked, subscribed, and smacked the bell, but if you could do that for me, I appreciate it. Also, all the rest of y'all, I got 10 people in the room. Let me get 10 likes, please. Please, don't make it big. Anyway, Lisa says, stop it, Wilbert. You're talking nonsense, as usual. Deet says, Kyle Hamilton is a playmaker. By the way, what's up, by the way? Playmaker, and I don't care what any fake insider with an undeserved radio show has to say about it. I saw on Twitter that this clown said Kyle was a second or third round talent. You talking about Jason Lockett forward once again? That dude, I swear, he just finds a way to get under people's skin. He has no common sense whatsoever. He's not a good talented reporter. You don't see anything about Jason Lockett for tweets, radio shows, whatever. Just turn the page, change the channel, figure out a different show to watch. Go watch Disney or something, because there's more entertainment there than it is with Jason Lockett for, because he's spitting straight trash. Okay, let's see. Chris White is obviously entertained. Appreciate you. Jason Lockett for be saying anything, it is facts. Jason definitely be just talking. EDC is no joke. Yes. Lisa says, of course I did. That's what I'm talking about. Lisa, let's go. Love it. All right. Brooke says, Wilbert needs to share with the class what he did about Lamar, what he said about Lamar this weekend. Yeah, what did you say? What do you mean by that? What'd you say about Lamar this weekend, man? I think you said something. Yeah, I think he said something foul, but like I said, he's a fan. He probably just wanted Lamar. He wanted Lamar to ball out. He wanted Lamar to get the Jackson 5, and Lamar didn't get the Jackson 5. All right. Anyway, as Wilbur says, I don't know if that word is acceptable on YouTube. I don't want Couch demonetize. It rhymes, but Lamar. I'm going to take that off screen. Lisa says, I want to know what he said too. So basically, he said Lamar sucked this weekend. That was the gist of it. It was probably something shady. I can't remember. It's witty. It's Wilbur. It's going to be something witty, something funny, but something witty against Lamar. But what I told Brooke was, hey, this dude is a fan. He spent 6 months last year when I was in Qatar doing a Pay Lamar campaign and had every meme in the world supporting Lamar Jackson getting paid. So we know he's a Ravens fan and a Lamar Jackson fan. We just know that he was hurt because he didn't do as good as he expected Lamar to do. Maybe he's got an interest in there, vested interest, maybe some fantasy, maybe some gambling or something along those lines. But what we do know is Wilbert is loyal, and Wilbert has been on board with the Couch Rider Report and the Couch Rider Raven since I started doing my shows, the long-term shows. So, hey, we're grateful for Will here. He brings comedy, and he's a fan. Just he likes Baker Mayfield a little bit better. That's okay. Lisa said, not a fan. All right. And Lisa F says, I'd love for Stephen A to be nice to the Ravens. I doubt if he would. No, Stephen is never going to be nice to the Ravens. If it is, it's not genuine, and he's going to wait for that first little tumble and say one. He's just going to trash Lamar. He's going to find every opportunity to trash Lamar because he's got the same material over and over again. Because every time Lamar gets a win, Stephen A just says, oh, well, he can't win in the playoffs. Every time Lamar gets a loss, they question his value. This is just the same message over and over again. Y'all going to you're going to see it. Lamar wins this weekend, they're going to say, oh, but can he win in the playoffs? Until the playoffs gets here. They're going to keep doing that same storyline. If Lamar loses, they're going to blame everything on Lamar. And sometimes he does deserve some of the lost credit, Brooke. I ain't getting into this tonight, but I'm just saying, if you are the leader of your team and your team loses, part of that L is on you just as much as it is on other players on the team. Because it's a team concept. It's a team game. All right. See. Brooke says, Wilbur, good people. Wilbur says, I want Lamar to be the best dual threat QB in NFL history, but I'll troll him until he gets there. So basically, he's Stephen A. Yes. Don't start. Nana says, I don't care about EDC trading, signing, or whatever. I'm not a fan of giving up our draft capital every year. Wokron, great choice, but we don't need to run that every year. I agree. Having the flexibility every year in the draft is, like I said, lottery tickets, as EDC has said. Every single lottery ticket that you have is another opportunity to get a successful player like a Geno Stone, to get those background players who are going to make the plays for us, who are going to just, they're going to show up. They're going to show up and they're going to fight to make their way on the roster. So you have to look at those guys like that. Every single player is a lottery pick. And you need as many as you can get. And to give up all those players like we did, we only had 6 picks last year. We had 5 going into the draft, and I think somehow we snuck out a second one. Or snuck out a 6th one. So to have that flexibility this year with, I think, 7 or 8 picks, plus the comp picks if we have any, I'm not sure if we will, but that type of roster management is what is needed across the league, to be honest. Because, like I said, these GMs are getting fired left and right, and it's because owners are fed up with the irresponsible cap spending. Like, they go all out instead of actually having a budgeted, disciplined mindset, and they hurt their entire team because of that. Chris says, I would have got rid of all 6 picks, so you would put a Mike Dicker. I mean, Mike Dicker, he did that for Reggie Bush, and eventually it did have some payouts. No, not Reggie Bush, Williams. But you know what? It is what it is. Like I said, those general managers and coaches that make irresponsible decisions like that are not thinking about the rest of the team and the other holes that they have to fill. Will we have lots of holes to fill like this next year? Yes. We're going to have probably a good 20 players on this team are going to be free agents that are, I'd say 11 or 12 of them are crucial players that we need to have back on this team. Some that are just going to have to hit the pasture or hit the free agency and see what happens. But I mean, Kevon Seymour, one of those guys that he's just one of those dark assassins who keeps connect. He's probably going to test the free agency waters, but he'll be back. I think he will be back. Geno Stone going to be a free agent if we don't sign him. Pat Queen, free agent. We don't sign him. There's going to be some big boys that we're going to lose if we do not sign them. It's going to be some. There's a Zeitler. Zeitler's going to be somebody that if we don't re-sign to a deal, he's going out to the pastures. Is Cleveland ready for that? I don't know. I'm talking about Ben Cleveland, not Cleveland Browns. They could care less. Or they probably will sign everybody like the Jets. They'll sign all our Ravens. Anyway, so we have to think about that, how we're going to replenish that roster if we don't have those picks. All right, Chris says, would have got a wide receiver and a running back. I don't know what to tell you, man. I believe in these guys. Lamar's just got to use them. When he uses Rashad Bateman, you see the guy steps up and makes plays. When he uses Odell Beckham and heads to him consistently, he's drawing those pass interference calls and moving this ball up and down the field. And of course, Zay is going to get open. He's going to uncover faster than all these other guys. So, and of course, using Aguilar. I mean, Aguilar, when using them, that's touchdowns, baby. That's touchdowns. When you utilize what you got, you're good. When you don't, and you try to bring somebody in and then force feeding the ball, it screws up the entire offense. We've seen this. Devontae Adams is sitting on a team where everybody basically got fired. He's one of the top tier players in the league. You're telling me that this guy is going to come over here and change our team for the better? I'm not saying Devontae is bad. I'm just saying that we would have to change how we operate to help this guy get or show what he can do. And I think Baltimore has a different formula, and it's going to be a good one if we just have patience. COVID shortfall is over in 2025. Well, the thing about the shortfall is what brought us back to 175 million. So right now, I think it's around 226. So I think, yeah, it's going to be fine. But you can't expect that later money to help solve all your problems. Still got to manage the cap responsibly because the numbers are still going up at each of the positions. Even the running back market is going to go up because these guys are getting signed again. So you have to imagine like what Derrick Henry's new deal is going to look like because he took a discount last time. So you got to imagine what another deal for Christian McCaffrey would look like. Like these deals are going to continue to go up. Like imagine this too, Kenneth Walker. Like if he gets a deal early because he's balling, could be a problem. Actually, what is Kenneth at right now anyway? All right, Kenneth Walker got 516 yards, 6 touchdowns. Gus got 5 touchdowns, 426 yards. So all I'm saying is if he keeps trending up in that direction, he's going to get a contract of plus 13 mil per year. And we don't even know what Gus is going to get. He continues to produce like this. He puts up 11 touchdowns for us. That could be another problem for us. To the cap mil, the cap is 325 mil in 2027. That's 4 years down the road. What are we going to do till then? Like the Saints, they'll be great. They'll be great. They'll be happy to know that there's 327 mil because they keep making irresponsible decisions every single offseason. Lisa says, we're going to bust our tails to win Sunday and new playing cute. You can't play around with this defense because I think this is the top defense in the league. When we played the Lions, they were one of the top defenses in the league. We're playing the Seahawks. This is one of the top defenses in the league. Guess who's number 2? Us. So you have to look at it like, hey, there's an opportunity to be great here and be responsible. And the way to get to this team is let's see here. Probably on the ground. Because right now they got 6 interceptions right now. But I mean, they are beatable. It's just you have to get them. You have to work that ground game. Work the ground game consistently and get up the field, set up the play action. Correction, 328 million. Okay, but I mean that's later on down the road, man. We got to worry about today's problems. Delicious says our boy Prochet got signed by the Browns. Happy for him. Very excited for James. Like I said, tough year for this guy. Lost his mom. Is cut by his brothers. and then can't seem to get on a squad to save his life. He was getting tryouts all over the place. And I was just like, dude, he's going to get a job. He's going to get a job. Well, somebody in the AFC North saw that, hey, this dude is a competitor. He's got talent. They need to trust in his abilities. So hopefully he gets that shot. Because this, like I said, this is a guy who scored 39 touchdowns and 3,900 yards in college. The talent is there. He just needs the opportunities. And like I said, y'all look at him as the one throw that he made when he's not a quarterback as to why he's terrible. Or you look at the one catch that he didn't make when it was a Hail Mary pass, and the percentage of making that catch was really terrible. You look at him like, oh, he had a terrible preseason. I wish he had another chance here. I really do. Because I think that this would be a good slot receiver for this team. But it is what it is. Cleveland got them. They got something. And just watch this weekend. If he gets his opportunities, it's on. All right. Adams be wide open. Will he though? If he's still that same Adams, he got to show us. He put up 40 pros at 40 fantasy points a couple weeks ago, whatever. It was more than a couple. It was probably like 6 weeks ago. And since then, it's kind of been pretty bad. In fact, it's been so bad that on Monday Night Football, he was hitting one-on-one coverage. If you one-on-one covering Devontae Adams and you doing good, Devontae ain't the same Devontae. Or the quarterback's trash. I'm going to say the quarterback's trash because that's Jimmy. So we need to get Charlie Kolar involved. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a more tight end involvement, I could see that. That's realistic, Lisa. I said, no, we need a Super Bowl. Okay, well, Devontae ain't going to bring us a Super Bowl. I mean, just be honest with you, it's not. It's going to take a team effort. It's going to take some team collaboration. And if we sit there and have to force feed Devontae to get us to make him happy, it's not the team concept. We got a lot of babies to feed around here. We already seen because we got all these babies to feed. There's a few guys that ain't happy and they wide receivers. Wide receivers are divas. They are divas. They're going to expect to be fed. And it's just going to be another upset mouth to feed. Let Lamar use what he has to get what he needs to get. So Lamar already on year 6. Okay. Ravens wasting our lives away. I don't think they're wasting anything. They're doing what they can. Just we had a couple of injuries and stuff. I think this year things are going to be trending up for us. All right. They want to know what he said about Lamar. You already know. Pay PQ ASAP. I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to happen. I think, like I said, this is going to be one of those players that brings Baltimore a comp pick. I think Baltimore's going to make him an offer, and he's going to go test the market, especially after he blows up this year. I think he's going to blow up a little bit past what we're able to pay him, and they're going to let this dude walk. And it's going to be sad, but we're going to get one heck of a comp pick, and we're going to use that for something. Probably a Pro Bowler. It's going to be a Pro Bowler. Let's just say it might sound crazy, but I wouldn't mind drafting a wide receiver next year. We got a lot of guys on 1-year deals. If Rome Zunze or Keen Coleman was to fall to us, we might take one of them. Okay. My thing is, with Marlowe getting older, it is time to invest in a top-tier corner. And I'm talking somebody to go beside Stevens as we phase. Yeah, y'all gonna hate it when I say it. As we phase and get ready for that next set of life without Marlowe. Or maybe a diminished role with Marlowe. Because he's probably got a good 2 seasons left before we have to recognize the changing of the guard. And that's okay to look into the future along those lines and let Marlowe develop those players because good heart guy, just we're going to start to see him slow up a bit. It's just what it is. It's just the changing of the guard, attrition. Okay. Navarre, like I said, Nana says, no Lamar slander is tolerated. Okay. Go get him, girl. Go get him. Well, but Prochet is going to be like Perryman. He just needed a better team to X. You're doing. Perriman did get his chance and did better with Baker, and then he went over to Tampa Bay, and he thrived a bit, but that was injury related. He was injury prone in Baltimore, and he was a lot more healthier throughout his career. Still not phenomenal. When he bounced around a few teams, he went to the Jets and hooked back up to Joe Flacco, and they looked good when they were together. But He's a meh type player. When I'm talking about, top receivers Ravens ever drafted, he ain't in there. Lisa says, thank you, Nana, for what I was thinking. Burke says, Wilbur, stop. Chris says, it's been 10 years, man. I'm tired of doing things the Ravens way. Well, they've been changing the Ravens way. You look at how this offense looks. We're not top in the league in rushing. Think about it. We don't rush as much as we used to. This is a passing offense now, a majority of passing offense. We're not running the ball 30 and 40 times a game, or 30 and 30 times a game, which was the key to victory back in the day. Time of possession, it's about the same. But at the same time, we're finding different ways to West Coast our ways down the field. Like I said, the screen passes, the flats, the short comebacks, those are the things that we're working on right now. And then, of course, still using the across the middle type passes to Mark Andrews in the red zone. But this is not the Ravens way that you remember. This is not the Ravens defense that we remember. Because, like I said, this is starting to look more like 2006 type Ravens. And I'm okay with that. This formula works. It's what Harbaugh's been working with for the longest. So it is what it is. All right, so let's keep rolling. Brooks says PQ is better with Rowe. He is. Nana says, I don't understand the haters and the snap when it comes to Lamar. Fools act like he has been equipped with a team for the past 5 years. No, he wasn't. It was taking some time, but we're getting there. Exactly. This offense is one that they actually said it themselves, that they're not where they want to be. They said that in, I think it was like preseason game 2. This offense isn't where they want to be. They want to be better. And it's going to take some time for Todd Monken to install all the things that he wants to install and for these guys to be able to recall it for that field. So just recognize that. Then, of course, you got the fact that Lamar does have some of the keys to the offense right now. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It might not be as great as we think it is, because maybe Monken had a play design that possibly was going to work, and Lamar checked out of it. Whether it be good or bad results, he checked out of the play that maybe something was set up for. I don't know. I'm not in the helmet. But what I am seeing is there was some familiar plays that were checked into that look very Greg Roman-ish. Just saying. But I think it's going to take time to get this offense down. And when they do, we're going to see the results like we did with the Lions. Don't call my ex old. Yeah, he old. I'm sorry, he getting there. He ain't no 40. But when you're almost 40, when you're almost 30, 30 is almost 60 in the NFL. Just saying. I agree, Coach. We do need another elite corner. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, man. Now, whether we trade for it, because they've been already developed, or we go into the first round and get one for cheap that we don't have to pay $30 million a year, because that's what happens when you go get a top-tier corner, you trade for one. You got to come up out the pockets because this player has already been developed and he should be a plug-and-play type player if you're going after that type of guy. And it's going to cost you picks and money. Eric DeCosta is looking at it like, hey, if I can get a young guy like Storm Duck, if I can get a young corner who's going to ball out in his first contract is only going to cost $5 million a year, then why not go after that in the draft versus having to pay a guy straight out the gate upwards of $30 million a year? It's easy math. I don't even know math that well. I'm from Louisiana. All right, so Nana says, yes, we do need some corners. Defund the defense. Don't come in here with that defund the defense. Defund the defense is a lunch break hot take that they have used for the last couple of years. What it means is spend more money on the offense. It's not necessarily saying ignore the defense, but they are saying spend more money towards the success of the offense because we are paying the defensive players a bit too much. Do I agree with this concept, or do I agree with this theory? No. I'll be honest. It's got to be a balanced attack, and I think the defense that we have right now is because we have paid the players that we need to pay. Roquan deserved every dollar that he has earned. Marlowe, for the way he's performed in the past, he has deserved his contract. We have some ballers that we have picked up and plugged and played in there that haven't necessarily got played yet. Yes, we need to spend money on defense, but we also need to spend money on the offense. So shout out to Lunch Break Hot Take. Pretty funny show on Wednesdays as well. So y'all want to check that out. Let's see. Chris says, give Lamar every weapon possible. Yeah, I agree. Give him some weapons. He's got the weapons. He got to do something with it. There comes a point where we bought you what you need. We got you the ingredients. It's time for you to cook. Get it done, Lamar. And of course, the guy's got to catch the ball too. Lisa says, my keys to the game are no penalties, no interceptions, or turnovers. That'll do it. That'll do it. I said, my key to the game is O-line shows up. If Lamar does get the protection that he needs, he can actually get these guys to uncover downfield and make some big-time plays. But Lamar can't hold that ball for more than 3 seconds. It's just got to be, I look, I see it, it's there. No, okay, check. Okay, now it's time to either bail out of that play or go reestablish the pocket so he can get that ball down. Okay, Chris says, no, I'm saying ignore the defense. Yeah, that's what Lunch Break Hot Take is saying, ignore the defense, but I'm not saying that. Okay, we want to be one of those teams that constantly has a shootout and then ends up losing. You've seen the Chargers. The Chargers sit there, and Herbert is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but he does not have the defense. He hasn't had the defense for a few years that was going to help him to ball out and close out games. Baltimore has that defense that will help close out the game. Chris says, pay them after we pay all the skill players on offense. Pay who? Pay the defense. Is there going to be money left? That's the thing. Will there be money left to pay these defensive players if you're talking about going after a big fish offensive player? Balance is key, man. All right, let's go to somebody else here. This is a fact, but it's never going to happen. T. Higgins, nobody's going to, they're not going to trade within the division, and I don't think we'll be able to get our hands on this guy. Burke says, we have all the pieces. We just have to show up. Indeed. Lisa says, nice try, Chris. Ain't happening, my friend. Yeah, I think we got our track. Basically, the Ravens need to run the ball. They need to establish the ground game significantly against the Seahawks and use that play action pass to get to Mark Andrews. I think Mark Andrews will be the key for this game. Matter of fact, we need to just look this up right quick to see how the Seattle Seahawks have fared against tight ends. So we go backwards a couple of weeks. I usually like to go like 3 weeks back just to take a look to see how the Seahawks have fared against tight ends. So if we're looking at David Njoku's stats, he had 4 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown against the Seahawks. We go back. I think he was targeted 8 times. We go back to week 7. So we had back one more week. Cardinals versus Seahawks. I believe Ertz had a game. No, McBride. So Ertz had 3 for 19 and McBride had 3 for 29. So they didn't focus in that direction. And what happened? The Cardinals lost. We'll go back one more week so I can show you what's happening. This trend to let you know that Seattle is susceptible. Like I said, it's a carbon copy type of deal. We push everything towards the middle of the field. We need to make sure we're watching the tight end. They push everything towards the middle of the field, and they let the tight end shine. So let's see. Seahawks versus Bengals. If you look at Cincinnati, yeah, it was all about Jamar. They force-fed Jamar, and they tried to go to Boyd. Boyd got a touchdown. What was the final result? It was close, 13-17. If the Ravens want to take this game and blow it all the way up, use the tight end. Use Mark. And actually get Likely involved as well, because I think you use that type of speed against this defense, it's going to spread some things open a little bit wider, and that way Gus can get to those gaps. Like I said, there's 15 different holes on a defense every single game, or every time they step on the field. 15 holes. The offense, and it's going to be the defense can only cover up 11, which leaves 4 different holes that have to be brought to light by that offensive coordinator and that quarterback every time. This hole, one of these holes, is the middle of the field for the tight ends. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's see. Nana says, agree, Prochet was not giving. giving opportunities because of that Harbaugh. I felt bad for him, and I'm glad he has another opportunity as well. Okay. Assuming the 30-70 Matty BK sticks around after this year, 70 being him price, do you target defensive tackle or cornerback in the first round? Next year, those are the only two options available. And of course, they're going to go best player available, but I think a need philosophy has kind of edged the previous philosophy when it comes to that first round position. It's not like the Ozzie Newsome era. This has definitely been a need based era for the first round, and I'm okay with that. We're meeting more. It's more satisfactory first round picks because of that. With Kyle Hamilton, that was more of a need. When it came to Zay, it was a definite need. Quarterback Lamar, definitely a need. We were not fat and happy with Joe, and everybody knew it. Nobody wanted to admit it. At least half of Ravens Nation didn't want to admit it. Those opportunities when we picked up running backs, those were needs. So this time around, we're going to need a top tier cornerback. So I mean, might as well go ahead and start studying that. Y'all get on Draft Sharks, get on my boy the Draft Network. My boy Damian Parson. He's a writer for them. He's the analyst for them. He is just on point. The guy's got about he's probably got at least 15,000 followers now on Twitter. Breaks down tape on college players. Like his Christmas is the draft. He prepares all year long for it. So y'all make sure y'all check him out. Brooks says Lamar said he wants bait to get his more. Yeah, I think he did say he wanted these guys to thrive. I think he wanted Odell to finally get his, but he also wanted Bate to get involved as well. So he's going to look for those opportunities to get those guys involved. Lisa says, what's she say? Do you think about Zay Flowers, or what do you think? Who do you think about Zay Flowers or Tyler Linderbaum as Ravens rookies of the year? Lindy was last year, wasn't he? That'd be. Yeah, Lindy was last year. Zay was this year. I can only identify one diva wide receiver on our team, and that's Odell. But Bateman is also, he's got that diva in him, but that's just comes with the position. When you're a wide receiver, you have a certain level of thrown offness that puts you in that diva mode. But that's also the part that locks in your competitor. Is that diva too? I see Prochet got opposition. He just didn't produce. He got what? Opportunities. Okay, these opportunities. No. He did not get enough opportunities. I think he needed a few more. Yeah, they ended up signing Robinson, who probably took a few of those opportunities out of his hands. He could have had more opportunities had they not signed Robinson. So, but Robinson had a pretty good year, so it is what it is. Now it says definitely we needed some in Marlin spots and another corner sooner than later. If I'm going to, we're about an hour by myself. Usually I don't do this. Usually with Cam Rue, I do about an hour, but not with y'all. Let's see. Lisa says, I'd love to see Jim Nance and Tony Romo doing the Ravens games. No, because Tony always gives up the plays before they happen. I want to see it happen for myself. He'd be that one guy that's in the scare movie that's going to tell everybody that the blonde is about to walk into the room with a chainsaw. And I'm like, look, I know what's going to happen, but you don't need to say it. Don't say that while we can sit here in the theater. Let me watch my show. Let me enjoy myself. That's why I came here to see it. He's sitting here predicting plays. And then, of course, anytime Tony Romo, anytime he calls our games, we lose. Go check the record. And then he spends the whole game beefing up the other quarterback. All right, so Marlowe's given up only 79 yards, 152 coverage snaps since returning. He was targeted once in Arizona. So we're grateful to still have him, but I am talking about still shopping for his replacement. There's nothing wrong with going shopping after this guy's replacement. We know what the age is. We know what the history is of the corners in this league, and that they just don't last past 8.5 years, the top tier ones. He's at that mark. Lisa says, thanks, delicious. Brooke has let me know that, yes, it is time. Voice a little scratchy. Still got homework to do. We'll get a couple more comments in, and then we'll go ahead and hit that road. Romo low-key hates us. I don't know if he hates us, but yes, it is tough when he is calling games for the against the Ravens. We're going to call it what it is. He usually roots for the other quarterback, talks about how great they are. Doesn't really give Lamar too many props. Brooks, I see Delicious says, LOL, I don't understand why certain wide receivers get labeled diva because they want the ball. Look, all receivers are divas. And them wanting that ball is their competitive nature within them. And so when they don't get it, then that's when they turn into that inner, I say diva. The competitor shows up and they get pissy. And so, of course, people then think it's just a diva attitude. It's the competitor within them that comes out. And that's why they get labeled as a diva, because they're whining about it after the game or on the sideline during the game. It says, Brooks, I don't have a problem with how OBJ acted Sunday. It showed he cares. Yeah, got passion. Passion's cool. Lisa says, I refuse to give up my Ravens. Win or lose, love them. Absolutely love them. So I appreciate y'all. Everybody been coming through. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. As far as the game goes, I will definitely not be streaming live because look where I am. I got to help about a couple more weeks. After the 17th, I'll be back in the basement or in the studio or whatever, doing my thing at the house. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with your boy. And I want y'all to have a good weekend. I want y'all to rest up and recognize that the love that y'all showed me is continually here. I am always falling off the couch because of y'all. And I just I've never been so I enjoy Wednesdays. I look forward to our Wednesdays together. So thanks for tuning in to the home of Original Sports Perspective. From our couch to yours. This is your host, your couch rider Raven, Jermaine Lockett. Thanks for coming through. And 2 claps, fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat.